This is Switzer, still plenty more to come on the program. Here's a quick check of the market today. And the benchmark S&P ASX 200 index fell about 28 points, or 0.6% to 4,503.5. Weighted down by big miners and the banks. Okay, with households, businesses around the country facing rising costs for utilities, there's money to be made by becoming more efficient. And now investors can get a piece of the action with a new company coming to the market. Ecosave's expected to start trading on ASX on December 20. And to tell us more about the company and the listing is CEO Marcelo Rouco. How are you, Marcelo?
Very well. Thank you for having me on the show.
My
Peter.
pleasure,
it's
my
great
pleasure.
To be here.
Now, I've got to play the devil's advocate here, okay?
Certainly.
So, because my viewers watch the show, I'm not advocating buying your stock. If your stock's good enough, it will do well.
Okay.
So just tell us about the company, because obviously you're the CEO and you're the founder.
That's
so
correct.
what does it do?
Certainly. Ecosave is an Australian company that reduces the energy consumption of large corporates and businesses.
Okay.
Ecosave has been going for over 10 years, and we have been profitable every year since 2005.
Yeah.
And we have experienced a very high demand for energy efficiency, driven primarily by the very high price increases in electricity prices. Today, corporate and government is paying between 70 and 100% more for the energy than they were 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that very large increase in this expense line that wasn't as noticed 5 years ago, but it's become very noticeable now, is driving businesses and government to find a way to reduce this cost, the best of which is to reduce your consumption, and that's exactly what Ecosave does.
Okay, so are you saying that by retrofitting, say, a factory, you actually reduce the consumption?
That's correct.
Because you just don't need as much energy and heat to warm up the building?
Yes, that's correct. So there are things you can do to the building or to the manufacturing process if it's a factory, or to the infrastructure if it's a tunnel. Any piece of property and real estate that consumes energy can be made more efficient, either through managing it better, or through changing its plant and equipment, or through doing upgrades that make them more energy efficient and that deliver the same output, that do the same job, but with 50% less energy consumption.
Is it fair to say that most people are so busy doing their business, they really haven't done the homework on getting the most energy efficient machines, the most energy efficient insulation and all that sort of stuff? And also, I guess the bottom line is some people rent factories, but they're not responsible for the insulation. But do they then take a punt that's in their interest to improve the insulation because it's going to save them the bills?
Yes, well, at the end of the day, even if you're renting a site, you're still responsible and paying for that energy bill.
Yeah.
You are paying for that electricity, and companies are noticing the fact that they're paying twice as much as they were 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's what used to be a small expense line has now become a very noticeable expense line. And through these building upgrades that we do, or changes to the manufacturing process if it's a factory, we're able to reduce that consumption.
Okay, so obviously you'll come in, you'll make an assessment and say, you guys are going to have to spend $200,000. What if they say, well, we haven't got $200,000? What do they do next?
Well, the next step is that we can fund it in a way that's cash flow positive. So that we can make it so that if we're saving you $100,000 a month, we only charge you $80,000 a month. So you're saving $20,000 in that example from day one. Cash flow positive, it's really a no-brainer.
Okay, and do you actually provide the funding before the savings come through? Like, for example, you said, I'm going to save $100,000 a month, so we charge you $80,000. Do I have to find the $80,000 before the savings come, or do you charge me after the savings result?
We implement the project, we guarantee those savings, and we start charging it as soon as you see those full savings.
Yeah, and are the charges monthly or a lump sum outlay?
Both options. So most of our clients would actually fund it themselves. They would choose to take money from their own capital and invest in reducing the energy consumption through Ecosave.
Yeah.
But we also, for those clients that might not have the lump sum, we offer finance.
Okay, how big is the company now? How many employees do you have? How many outlets have you actually, or how many businesses have you actually serviced to this day?
Well, over the last 11 years, we have done over 480 projects in more than 2,500 sites. We have done so profitably since 2005. We have 27 employees now, but what we're finding is that there's such high demand for energy efficiency that we're unable to keep up with it. And we need to go outside our normal cash flows so that we stop turning customers away.
So this is the reason why you're floating. You're looking for capital to grow the business. Is there government support for your business?
Not for our business. There are government grants that for some industry segments like manufacturing pay for part of the projects we do for our clients. So there are government grants at certain parts of the market like local government, non-for-profits, and the manufacturing sector can go and apply to the government for either 30% or 50% of the project value that we do. But we don't get money directly from the government.
And so what will the stocks list at, do you know?
It would go up at $1.
At $1. Okay, well, best of luck with it.
Thank you.
All new companies going to the market are a risk, but I hope you do really well.
Thank you, Peter.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Mark.